Complete College America grant, which you may recall that Indiana was granted, one of 10 states granted $1 million a few months ago, and we made the announcement officially in the governor's office. But as part of what we did, we talked about the importance of working with our institutions throughout the state. And we looked at our attainment goals, and we know that the only way for Indiana to meet those kind of goals is not only to deal with what Jim referred to as the 21st century student, but also to deal with all sectors as well, that we need the active participation of the public, the private, and the proprietary sectors for us to get anywhere close to that goal. And so in doing that, you know, we acknowledge what our limitations are at the commission, and that we have the ability to, as a system, look at some of this. But the work is really being done campus by campus, institution by institution, to really address this. And so we wanted to start today a little bit by talking about some of that, talking about the new strategic plan that the commission will be approving next month, to talk about its relationship to the strategic plans that many of you are operating with as well, and to find ways that we might be working together on this goal. You know, the good news is, while we all have a different lens through which we see this issue, we're all dealing with the same issue. And we all are really motivated by, I think, the same thing, which is to give Hoosiers more opportunity and to build a better state as well. And you know, you're about that business of doing that every day. So with that, I know you know, many of you know each other, most of you know each other already, but I asked Beverly if she would make just a couple comments, and then perhaps we could just have an opportunity to just, there are a couple people who may not be known by others, but I think just to go around the room and tell us again, maybe how many campuses in your system, anything you want to share with us that you think might be an interesting takeaway, even though you know that we know about all of you already. It gives you an opportunity to say something unique about the system that you represent. And thought I'd start. Beverly has been kind enough to join me in this exercise, and we thought no one better to do that than someone who has a strong public and private background. She is, as you know, retiring this year, but I know she is willing to share part of her retirement in important causes, and none, I would imagine, is closer to her heart than this one, and so she enthusiastically agreed to help and just asked to make a couple comments.
It was just great to see Joanne, because we hardly ever see each other. People think that we see each other all the time. And I was reminded of how often I think about how little the sectors have opportunities to talk to each other, and we share so much in common. But other than College Compact, you know, there really isn't any sort of uniting group. So this ought to be enriching for a whole lot of reasons. But I often think back and forth about issues related to public education that I experienced at Ball State and issues related to private education that I experience now, and I realize how much common ground there is. You know, we're really all doing the same thing. I'm very happy to kind of represent the private sector. We always like to remind you that in the larger public sector, that although our campuses may have 2,000 or 4,000 students, among us we educate more than 80,000 of the state's students. So we're kind of with you on the numbers side. So we're excited about this opportunity and to get to know the proprietaries and their issues and problems, and hopefully to move us towards some common goals that will suit us all well.
Well, Michael McGraw, President